So we're going to just start by taking a nice inhale, exhale, and just start to see this glossy um, liquid light reflective coating washing over your light fields. And as this comes into play, it just begins to contain your energy spheres and just create an extra reflective layer, raising the frequency and concealing your light. And as we phase into this space, we're also just connecting in with the opalescent light ray, the opalescent dragons held within the cosmic field that connect into many variations of the divine mother, divine feminine. And we want to just kind of sit with that feeling at the moment as they're kind of coming in and approaching or presenting themselves. Just going to allow them to allow them to wash through. And as the energy of the mother, the many variations of the mother, the feminine, in all of her divinity is kind of stepping forward. This is then triggering up the weight of frozenness, the frozen consciousness that's kind of at a standstill to awaken. And just starting to bond into the energy system, restabilizing layers of fragmentation. Inhaling, exhaling, just feeling that coming in down over the back side of the body and just interlocking through the left side. So what we've got as this is coming in is this kind of stuck sensation held within the feminine form, which is effectively kind of creating a seizing up or a gridlock within the feminine energy system. And just softening it up, opening it up to release, to make room for her light to sit within it. Okay, so as this opalescent light ray is phasing down, gradually making its way into the violet ranges, where she's being met with an expression of King Arthur, also in a violet form. Excuse me. Allowing that to blend over and just create a union bond there at the seventh level. And we're just allowing that to dance together, create connection and a blending of masculine and feminine energies. Triggering the fourth field, the sixth field, the eighth field, inhaling, exhaling, and just allowing that heart just to expand and open. It's actually allowing multiple chakras to open and clear out. And it also interacts with multiple layers of the axiotonal lines as well. And gradually, as we sit with the frequency, sit with the unification, we've got layers of light pulsing in, which is starting to unlock and open out layers of gearboxes and machinery, just interfaced with the light field. That's being reprogrammed out of the seventh body. and affecting all of these other levels. This would be somewhat related to the kind of the black cube matrix, but really a much bigger Metatronic structure. That we're just allowing this hierogamic union point just to draw together at this Saturnian matrix. And bridge together the union bonds. Okay, and as that sacred union energy is interconnecting and interfacing within this machinery, we've got all of these reversal codes, reversal energies that are splitting apart that consciousness, just gradually dissolving, breaking down. Which is then showing the greater expression of the Holy Father in a ruby dragon form, moving in. So what we can see coming in here is this ruby dragon that's interfacing with where the Saturnian matrix and architecture was interlocking in. And this ruby dragon begins to build a stable core foundation, which then triggers up sound tones, corrective sound tones, that begin to speak and sing the architecture back into alignment. And as we're watching this 7D field build this new architecture, I'm just being taken over to the 9th field, which is triggering up Hmm. What is this, please? Takiamas mana asna atia terenia dayamas mana no ora. That which looks like a kind of metallic power plant as a hub point or control room for Metatronic architecture. And just allowing this to start disintegrating, breaking down. And the imagery that's kind of coming up through this field is that of a siren or the shadow form of a mermaid, screeching instead of singing beautifully, like a kind of, I think they're called harpies, maybe, I'm not sure. And as the reverberation of the screeching takes place, this then begins to open out the damaged sound waves, and revealing a diamond, a liquid diamond waveform that's presenting as a cascading waterfall, restoring the sound waves. And within this waveform waterfall, I'm seeing all of these equations just start to come from the waters, from the diamond waterfall. Which are moving straight into the ninth strand of DNA. The ninth dimension and the ninth chakra. Just starting to move the head from right to left, turning the head from right to left, sorry. So we're just starting to get some natural movement and flow within the cranial sacral joint. And taken directly into the medulla oblongata, the brainstem, where the ninth chakra is connected to, as well as the hypothalamus. And we're just going to sit and observe this area because there seems to be all of these like walls, these glass walls around it. And as we're kind of connecting into that space, the energy around this seems to be quite warped and inverted in certain areas, but other areas it's blossoming and blooming. And the medulla oblongata, or the ninth chakra, is meant to be uh, the kind of the receiver of divine message. So it kind of connects into the ninth chakra, but it also connects into the brainstem in particular. And what we're looking at here is the inversions around the brainstem. Just seeing a nice golden sphere just moving in. And as it connects into the brainstem, it just liquefies and becomes absorbed into the brainstem. The correction equational codes that have moved into the ninth field, into the ninth strand, begin to loosen the overlays. Take a nice inhale, exhale there. The recoding corrections in the seventh field is also playing a part to open this out, and at the eighth level as well. So it's almost acting as like the pre-correction for the light fields to reconstruct over the next two layers, the next two solar cycles. And we're just able to support that by witness observing. And that's also being fed back through to the 8th level. And as this is all opening and blossoming, we've got all of this nice uh, opalescent light, liquid light moving in and just starting to reformat the bonds, reformat the tissues, reformat and repair the light fields. Think of it almost like scaffolding or a very base level of very base level of a structure. Repairing the cracks. And as that's taking place, we're also being taken underwater and just touching base to the seabed within the Atlantic Ocean. And as we land under the water, touching onto the crystal sands of the Atlantic. There's one very persistent manatee that keeps on coming back around that we is asking to communicate. Blowing a ring of bubbles around your form. And this then interconnects with a geometry that looks like a Templar with the Sri Yantra within it. Which brings up the memories of Atlantis. It brings up the civilization of Atlantis. Projected through the light and shadow within the water. We've got little glimpses of the memories of the sons of Belial. We've got memories of the light groups within Atlantis as well. And I'm also being shown parts of Lemuria as well simultaneously, but it's the Atlanteans that I believe the Atlanteans went over towards the end of their civilization. I could be wrong within this, but there's an influx of energy going over towards Lemuria just before it kind of collapses, causing a lot of the collapse. And as we're receiving this information, the cracks in the metallic, the cracks in the layers around the medulla oblongata, the overlays just begin to crack open with light and electromagnetic frequency just running through the medulla. Feels like it's unleashing a memory to free the ninth chakra somehow. And that kind of attack on the Lemurian civilization started to bring in more of the negative consciousness throughout the Atlanteans. So there's a kind of repeating process that's happened here upon Tara as the Alanians and the Lumians that were originally on the same continent, which then got split apart. And it feels like the Lemurian side wanted to have this taken note of here, wanted to be understood. And as this memory has been seen, this begins to process and move layers of the trauma body. Through acknowledgement, it allows it to open and release. The earth is expanding her light into the water, which is absorbing the emotional pain that's within this underwater realm that we're in. It's transmuting and transforming the pain, really. And then we've just got a connection to the inner earth Agartha, the Lyran, um, Lyran Anuhazi kind of expressions. It's like an expression of the higher counterpart of Lemuria. It seems to be kind of like tears of galactic angelic imprints within the people residing within inner Earth, connecting to the Emerald Ray, that also connects through the Lemurian family that moved into the inner Earth, so maybe connected to the Ioni. Just transferring the consciousness into the awareness of everyone involved today. An update to the key codes. And this supportive energy is running back through each of you guys involved and back up onto the surface level. Interesting. Which appears to be stabilizing, taking a further stability to the earth grids. Allowing that to transfer. allowing that left side body to open. And just feeling that bridge into the left side body, open upwards vertically. Allowing the deeper levels of pain and suffering locked through the feminine body just to move up back into alignment as this kind of emerald guardian of inner earth consciousness moves up and then reformats through the left side. Highlighting a very big, tight pain trauma just over the back left side of the head and face. We're just going to love. Just starting to let go of the distrust held within that feminine body. Bringing in more light of the higher self. To connecting through the heart, opening out through the cosmic ranges, or through the cosmos, more like the cosmos, I think, that Yamas Manasna Atia Tadamat Bashmi Morashano Okura. Which is now phasing into the galactic core, And when we're looking at the galactic core, there's a kind of like an inversion that looks like it's leading into a black hole kind of aspect. And that is holding like a kind of architecture within it that basically is inverting the whole field of the galactic core. That seems to be drawing upon these traumas that are landlocked through the emerald consciousness and many other layers of consciousness as well. So that would be kind of moving into the beast. I'm just going to sit and allow all of this just to correct itself out, bringing in the light of creation, the light of God, to expand and open. Held through the thymus, affecting the medulla, affecting the crown, starting to unravel itself, unwind itself. Any layers of radiation phasing out. Organic photons moving in, triggering up the mycelium-like network of wiring and impulses that are reversed, affecting multiple different layers of the universal structure. Affecting the God worlds, affecting the Roisha pillar connections to the God world structures or the God world akashas, and just unraveling, unraveling, unraveling. Where we're seeing parts of the dragon body just popping itself out and moving from death and decay imagery into regenesis, rejuvenation, and resurrection. Legions of angels moving in, expanding the solar light ray through the location and connecting into the gold ray, the 14th chakra, 14th dimension, but also connecting into the 8th ray, and also into the third. So, third dimension, 8th dimension, 14th dimension. Corrections and updates. Expanding the dark matter fields and updating the dark matter fields, anchoring more of the eternal light, uh, the eternal light body, or the eternal body of light, which is then running a correction down to the personal, planetary, universal light body, and unhooking a big chunk of this dark plasmic damage to illuminate back through into the sun, phasing out layer by layer by layer. Pain, suffering, destruction. which is then landing the higher expression or claiming back the dark matter for its higher expression or self. By revoking a big chunk of the base 10 architecture, moving back in the Kristalla. Inhaling, exhaling, nice and slow. Coming back into your form. I'm going to update through all fields, update through all localized grids, move to seal forward through all levels or layers of light, through all bodies, and through the sound tones of the emerald ray. Thanks for joining.